Okay, well, finished up this tonight. She is done. I think I'll put one more coat on her. I put 3 coats on the bottom piece, but she's done. So next week is this. At least cleaning this out. Then we can start making the pieces. The bottom piece, you gotta, the apron, you gotta glue 2 pieces together. So that takes a couple days of prep. So last spring, the deck came in handy during the quarantine because we had multiple kids living at home, and they could go outside and work on their online training, whatever. And because I have a Wi-Fi hotspot right there, pretty much anywhere in the backyard, you get pretty good signal. In fact, I've had things inside the garage in the house connect to that. But however, on the front porch, there was no Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi upstairs is 2 floors up. It's attached to the ceiling, and we got lots of insulation. So I was thinking maybe I'd put a Wi-Fi up here, but then the joists go this way, which means I thought I could come through here from the basement, go up the wall and around, but there's too much woodwork there. So then I thought maybe I could put one on here, but I don't want to touch the exterior wall. So about 4 months ago, I just literally threw a wire and tossed one up there. Now, some of them I used did look like a smoke detector, and they literally pop up on the ceiling. Give you an example of one. So I've got one like that in the basement, actually upstairs. This is my newest one. So up there, the blue light is the Wi-Fi. So it's up high, which is good because you nice distribution, 360 degrees. So anyhow, I threw one over that I had an extra one over there. But then about 2 weeks ago, I realized, hey, I have one that looks like an outlet. So yesterday I made a hole and put that guy in there. So she's kind of cute because underneath, which you may or may not be able to see, she's got Ethernet. So it's also a switch that you can use and plug in, as well as a hot spot, so to speak. So this will cover this area, maybe upstairs is needed, and then of course the front of the house. So, and plus she's got lights on there, which is kind of nice. The next project, which my wife slowly talked me into, is replacing that temporary bookshelf that I dragged out of the trash 3 years ago with a built-in one. I have to do a little bit of framing, a little woodworking to make that happen. So, shh, don't tell her. So, I bought this car 6 months ago. It's got about 120,000 miles on it now. And it just hasn't been riding the way I want. It's been floating around corners. A couple times where there's bumps in the corner, it kind of skips. And so today I finally realized that the front end was bouncing up and down a little more than I thought it should. So we're going to do the shock test. So you take a Yorkie, put on the hood, set, and then you push down. And the Yorkie bounces more than once, you got a problem. So I noticed that it's not working. So it looks like I need a new pair of shocks, and I think what happened is they're gas charged, and I think when it got cold, the seals collapsed a little bit, kind of like in Space Shuttle, and then lost its charge. They're definitely not working like they should. And you can do this test without the dog, but it kind of helps to have that dog. It really kind of makes a visual impact. Okay, well, today I'm attempting to install this on this door because it's like 40 degrees and it's going to be 20 degrees next week. What this is supposed to give us is the ability to unlock and lock the door with the finger pad, as well as remotely with the Echo. It's going to be a little weird. These doors are weird. They have unique locks to lock up there and down there and here. So unfortunately, it's just 13 easy steps of trying to figure out what fucking parts go there and different pieces depending which door you have, and drilling holes.
It's only 12
It's all
steps
good
for
things.
alcoholics.
And this is my helper. not helpful at all. So I've got the unit on, and this will lock and unlock, and it's got this goofy sensor. And then the batteries go there. Now I'm at this stage where I put the handle at the bottom, and I took the old handle out. Now, for about 6 months, 2017, we had a problem with this thing. These screws kept loosening, and then it wouldn't work. So what I did is I drilled me a big hole. So the set screw goes right in that big hole. And then, of course, I messed up, so then I filled it in with a little weld. So it slid out. I don't know what I did. But anyhow, so I'm going to use this one because she don't move. I don't want to revisit this again. Okay, so we have a single door in sweep. So we ignore that instructions, this instructions, that instructions. We go to this instructions. And so we just take a drill bit and we drill a hole. It tells me how big. It tells me where in relationship vertically, but it doesn't give me a clue horizontally. There's no reason to do that. Now they do over here. I say 1/4 inch. That's a magnet. Same thing here, center. So I saw this trick on the interwebs. Put your wedding ring on there, and if the wedding ring goes there, it's not straight. If it goes this way, it's not straight. If she's right about in the middle, she's kind of straight. So, what could go wrong here? Okay, well, today we're working in the bathroom. So we have a bathroom fan, and it's important to get moisture out. So that fan actually goes with the flex duct over there and down there, between around here and to the floor and out to the basement. So I've got plenty of access to the basement. What I want to add is this is the switch that turns it on. It's very binary, on, off. These are the lights. There's a heat duct right here, and there's framing right here, so there's just a little sliver of space here. So I want to get rid of this. I want to have a timer switch. So I got two options. One is really easy, to put a new outlet here on the other side of the 2x4, and I can run the wires very easy because there's a hole there for the water lines to come up to the floor. However, it doesn't look as nice, and frankly, while I was looking for an Instabox, I found this. So this is unique because it has screw holes. So I can screw this right to the joist. So all I need to do is make that hole a little bit bigger. I did notice, however, that the GFI outlet is 1 feed. I would have thought it would have fed this one, or this one would have fed this one. And then you didn't need an expensive one of these times 2. But apparently they're in separate circuits. Only in separate circuits, they're different models. This one has a dot, tells you when it's alive. This one's upside down because my electricians were idiots. So anyhow, now of course, this is nailed in there with a nail, and then there's a nail up there. So we're using our trusty hacksaw blade. So we just kind of stick our blade in there and go up. You can already see, got the bottom one done. I guess I could go like this, go down. Not dominant, so you get the idea. Okay, so the box is out, nail's been cut, and as I suspected, you have to push this aside a little bit. Actually, not bad, just a little tiny bit. So that's the flex duct. You can see I built me a false wall in there. This gave us about 6 inches of area. What that allowed is that allowed the plumbers to run the plumbing from upstairs for the drain and everything down there and then across there, while keeping the ceiling the same height. We wanted the same height. We wanted high ceilings, so ceiling high. So now we'll make that hole a little bit bigger. Maybe do a little nicer job in this. Then put this in there, put some screws in there, and run us some wires. Now I did notice that, oh boy, somebody put a whole bunch of insulation there I forgot about. I was thinking I could run the wires between the stud and the wall, which is hard to see. What you can't see is there's a stud on the other side, right about there on the back of the wall. We'll figure something out. We'll probably just make a hole and feed it straight up through here for the basement. So got the hole ready to mount, but I'm going to pull the wire first. But I realized another advantage. So we're going to have this outlet there. This has 3 wires, standard Romex, ground, neutral, hot. We'll attach those to those wires, but then I can attach the fan, pick up my ground, hot and white, off of the auxiliary, leaving me a red to go down and feed the fan. So instead of having to find, which I don't know if I have, 4 wires, which I need on a separate outlet, because I need these 4 wires, I really only need 1 wire. So of course we'll just use Romex, and that'll make life a little bit easier. And that way the fan's at GFI, not like it matters. So there we go. So the next step is to go down there and in the basement, drill a hole and feed a wire up through. Okay, so we're down in the basement. This is the fan. Wire goes over to here and around here. I don't know where it goes up. Where does it go? Over to here and up here. So this is the feed to that 3 switch. This is the fan coming down. So we can probably just cut her right there and feed her back. We'll put a junction box in someplace. You can see there's a hole right there, so I don't really even have to drill a hole. I just realized I can just shove this right up through the hole. Probably ought to seal that with something, like a foam. So to give you an idea how off the floor was, that's additive. It was up almost a 2x4. Okay, so instead of making things complicated, I have this really nice drill here, ready to go. I'm just gonna shove the wire up the hole. Looks like I sealed it over there. I don't know why I didn't do it over there. Probably ran out of foam. So we got this piece up there. It's gonna go there, but this is gonna be the ability to kind of go across here and go right to the junction box and plug her in. Then we'll just cap this off. Maybe someday we'll want that. I don't know. I'm not gonna take that switch apart. Okay, so the box is in. She's got screws in there. I shimmed her. She's pretty straight. So remembering this is the feed in. So we got the feed going to there. That's for the outlet. Then we've got our grounds all tied together. So ground there, ground back to the fan circuit. So lots of grounds, 4 grounds. I had to use this little guy. Don't know why. It's kind of silly. I think we'll get rid of that. That's the extra space. So then we got our neutrals all tied together. Neutral for the fan, neutral coming in, coming out here, and then going to the switch. And then we got the hot from the switch coming to the hot to the fan. So I'm going to get rid of this extra piece here because I can replace it with these. Now that I found these have little lever locks and they're pretty good. Eliminate that, you know, shove it all in there. That's the fun part. Okay, so that's done. Echo still works. And the switch. And the fan. Come on. Let's see if you can hear that. And 5 minutes later, she'll turn off. So, By putting a timer switch on there, that forces people to A, use the timer, so a maximum 30 minutes of fan, as well as allow me to leave the shower area, bathroom, while getting rid of the moisture. And then we have our other lights are still there. So it's been about 2015, 16 since this last ran. I took the battery out of the truck because we bought new batteries. Ugh, that was expensive. And then I poured some fuel down the barrel. I think I had a stuck valve. I freed it up with the old hammer and see if she turns over. The battery's been charging 24 hours. Let's see. So she is turning over. She sounded a lot better than she did when I first started. Lights come on. So yeah, at least we got her turning over.